Hi everyone, it's TheTidesChanging here, and welcome to another room building video. Today I'm going to be making a modern study, which is probably the most commonly requested room build for me to do. And I know it's been a couple months since the last time I did a room build, but I have been trying over those past few months to try and get a room build up for y'all, but I kept trying to make a room and I kept just not liking whatever I made, so I had probably 5 or 6, maybe even more scrapped attempts at room building videos. And I think a big reason for that is that I feel like when you're doing just a room that it has to be a really spectacular room, like that it has to be better than just a regular old study that I would put in a house. So I just feel like a lot of the other rooms I made weren't quite good enough to be their own room building video, but I finally made a study that I was really happy with, and here it is. So what I'm working on now is sort of a feature shelving type area in the back of the room because I really wanted this office to have some kind of a unique feature to it. So before I went in to build the study, I actually looked at pictures of modern studies just to get a little bit of inspiration going. And that's something I like to do a lot when I build, whether it be rooms or houses. Like if I think of the style I want to do and then I just search for pictures of that and then I paste them into a program like usually OneNote and put it on another monitor so I can look at it as I build. Like I just like having a bunch of pictures for inspiration to look at when I build. So I found this study that it was pretty much like this exact thing with some cabinets arranged in sort of a diamond-like pattern with shelves above them and books on the shelves and stuff like that, and then a little cabinet below them. And I just thought that was so cool, and I thought it'd be so neat to try to recreate that in The Sims. So that's what I'm doing right now, and I just use cabinets on the bottom, like the actual wall cabinets rather than the counters, because that prevented a lot of the issues I've had in the past with objects just snapping to the counter rather than where I want them to go when using the Move Objects sheet. So by using the cabinets, I didn't have to fill all the slots with books or other items to be able to move the rest of the items where I wanted. So it just cut out a bit of the tedious work that I would usually have to do. So at this point, the upper shelves are pretty much filled up. And I really love how that looks. And if I do a modern house in the future, that's something I may try in the study for that, although that could work in a traditional house as well. Like, I think it'd be fine for a traditional house, but right now I'm just trying to figure out all the items that I want to put on the lower shelves. There were already so many books on the upper shelves that I felt like I really didn't need to have a ton on the lower ones, so I just stuck a few books and left it at that. I also stuck that cute little owl backpack on the floor there, and right here I was the picture I found had what looked like a small shelf with a bunch of pictures stuck on it, so I was trying to do that, but I really wanted a white shelf. And all the white shelves either had like the little thing sticking up out of them or the little thing below them, so it didn't really work that well, so I was just like, okay, never mind. So here I'm just setting up the desk area. I just used a simple white desk, used a blue chair as well, because I think that blue and green go pretty well together. And also I used that rug right there, that rose rug, so just a very contemporary IKEA-ish kind of a style. Like I could see this, this just seems kind of like the IKEA style of decorating, which is what I tend to go for when I do more modern furnishing. But I really do like it. I also use that Apple-looking computer, at least that's what I think of when I see that computer, but I really like using that one for this type of style of decor. And then I decided I want to put a plant on the desk, but I didn't like where it snapped to, so I just filled in the rest of the slots and then stuck the plant where I wanted. So I thought that was a nice little bit of decoration, and that angle right there, like looking over towards the shelf and kind of pointed out the windows, is definitely my favorite angle in this room. Like I just love that side of the room so much. And that's about it for that part of the room. I just stuck a plant right there near the door, and on the other side of it, what I decided to do was have sort of a TV area, so the Sim sitting at a desk could also watch the TV. And then you also have some bookshelves there, so it's sort of a reading nook slash TV area. Just because I felt like I wanted the other side of the room to look just as interesting as the side with all the books and stuff on it, so I thought that was a nice way to do that. So I was going to have a dresser in between the two bookshelves, but I didn't like how far it stuck out from the bookshelves, so I ended up just sticking some regular old shelves. And I was going to fill them with books, but I decided not to because there's already so many books in this room that I felt like it was a little bit much just to fill that side with it as well. So I did leave some books here and there, and then I just stuck a few other little decorations in there. I kind of had trouble finding things that I felt really fit in with that space, which is something I've been running into a lot lately. So I struggled a little bit with figuring out what to put on these shelves, but in the end I guess it looks fine. I still would prefer to have some different items to look at. Like, I just went back and forth so much on this. Like, I also tried adding some of these trophies in here, but I didn't really like how the gold looked with the rest of the room. I don't know, I didn't really like something about having those shelves in there. I mean, trophies in there. I could have also put a chess table on that wall. So if you don't really want to have a TV, it would be pretty easy just to get rid of all that stuff and put in a chess table in there instead if you want to. But I do think it is kind of cool to have a little TV area. So right here I was trying to figure out what kind of rug I wanted. I didn't want to use a rug that was too busy because you of course had that rose rug over on the other side of the desk. So I settled on just putting two of those smaller ones together so you can't really tell that they're two different rugs, but I just put down some blue chairs and then used the bright green rug on the floor there. And then right here I'm just going back to the shelves because I still wasn't happy with what was on them. Like, I spent so much time trying to figure out what to put on these shelves, so I ended up having a sort of a symmetrical arrangement on the top shelf with those candles in the plan. I also thought about putting a radio on there, but the only thing is if you put a radio up on the shelf, then Sims can't dance. I think they can still listen to it, but they unfortunately can't dance. I don't know why though, it doesn't really make sense to me why it doesn't work that well, but I think this is about the finished arrangement that I had for that area. So right now I'm trying to figure out some kind of lighting because I feel like there need to be some lighting up there. So I just stuck those pool lights up on the wall above the bookshelf. I also thought about putting another plant in, but I didn't want to have too many plants in the room, so that's it. But that's all for the room building. So now we're moving on to some screenshots. There aren't really a whole lot of screenshots because there's not a whole lot of room, but there is of course a download link in the description. But this is the end, so I hope you'll enjoy the video. Thanks for watching, and bye!